Hi Pisces, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your November 2021 full moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Pisces be affected by the November 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. So at the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Devil, which is Capricorn energy coming through, and we have the Hangman. We're confronting a lot during this full moon. This full moon is quite an intense full moon. It's the longest full moon eclipse that we have had in 580 years. So the fact that we're facing things or seeing things that were once hidden in shadow is not surprising to me at all, just coming through here. Now, if we have Capricorn within our natal chart or within our lives, they're going to be coming through very powerfully at our root. Then we have our inner self. We have the Chariot, which is Cancer energy, and we have the Eight of Pentacles. So Cancer energy, if we have Cancers within our natal chart or within our lives, they're coming through very powerfully during this time. And there's also a sense of our emotions really guiding us forward. And this is going to be something that we are not as readily to tap into as we would maybe assume that we would be, because this is such an emotional time for everybody, but especially for water sign energies, that we can find it hard to really embrace our heart and to move forward in the way that we really need to, the way that we really want to. So just being aware of this, that our heart is going to be telling us to move in this direction, and yet we're going to be holding back and thinking, no, I can't. Just make sure that you're aware of it. Just really kind of call it out within you and say, listen, I know I'm going to be afraid to follow you, heart, but I need to be able to embrace what my heart is saying, what my desires really are for the way that I move forward within my life. And that's going to be a very powerful thing. Then we have our emotional self. We have the Sun. See, that's why it's going to be so powerful. This is the happiest card in the whole entire deck. Then we have the Ace of Pentacles, And we have the Six of Cups. So we have this beauty coming in, this gift almost of the sun really guiding us forward. And then we're going to have things from our past coming forward that make us think, maybe I can't do this, or maybe I've done it wrong before and I can't let myself embrace love and passion the way that I want to. It moves us to our public arena. It's the Eight of Swords, being way too much in our own heads, and justice, finding balance. And this is going to be a time where we need to step out of our heads, step out of overthinking, and be just with ourselves, be discerning with the energy that is around us. Let's look at the energy we need to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. It's fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It's also with the Princess of Wands, with the Princess cards. It's people who are acting like divas, like princesses, around, their passion, around their careers, around what they want in life, around where they're moving forward. And this could also be a warning for us not to be overly... It's funny to say overly invested, but it's like making our career our identity, or making our passion and what we're passionate about our identity, and not really developing anything else about ourselves during this time, because there's going to be so much that's being offered. We're also going to find it very intriguing. We're going to love passionate people during this time, and we can really mistake egotism for passion. And that's going to be something that we need to be mindful of. And it's also just really easy to do, to mistake egotism for passion. Then we have our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. We have Mother Earth. Now this links us to this full moon in Taurus, so Taurus links us to the earth, and we have the Earth Mother coming forward. This is the Earth Star Chakra, located 6 inches below our feet. We are embracing our earthly self. We are embracing our connection with the earth. We're also going to find this power within us. So we have the Earth Mother coming forward, right? This sense of, I need to be everything to everyone, but we also... in society, we think of the Earth Mother as the eternal, caring, nurturing, loving person who just gives and gives and gives. But the earth, it gives. But there's also earthquakes and, tornadoes and hurricanes. So there's an intensity to the earth as well. And that's going to be a part of us that we're really starting to tap into. The intensity, the fire, the passion, the brilliance. And that's why we're going to be so attracted to really passionate people. But we have to make sure that there's a balance here, that there's a sense of I'm grounded as well. So let's talk about this moon astrologically. On the 19th of November, we have the longest full moon lunar eclipse that we have seen in 580 years. And that is amazing. Now, everything is more intense with a lunar eclipse. Everything is going to be way more intense with this lunar eclipse. As in all full moons, okay, the sun is opposite the moon, which brings all our relationships into sharp focus, as well as making us aware of the opposite forces within our lives: work, home, wants, needs, loves, hates, passion, disinterest. All these things start coming forward. We're also a lot more emotionally aware and are more spiritually and personally plugged in to our wants and needs during this time. A lunar eclipse represents the resetting of our emotions and a clearing away of the baggages that we've been carrying, the baggage that we've been carrying for the past 6 months. And it can be even longer than that. So this is going to be something that is extremely needed. The world has been tinged in just a bit of gray, more so for some people than for others. And this is going to be a time where we're looking at that gray, where we're looking at the hardships and the pains of the past 6 months, of everything that we have been through. And we're starting to release, we're starting to heal. The full moon in Taurus, which is in the second house of the zodiac, this means that it is naturally linked with the second, which is the second sign in the zodiac, and it means that it's naturally linked with our second house, with the second house. So what this means is that it represents the material world, it represents material things, material life, it represents food, it represents the bodies, it represents well-being. And what we're going to be told to pay attention to here is the quality of things, not the quantity of things. And we can sometimes get those confused, okay? Thinking if I have more, then it's going to be better. And what Spirit is saying here, no, it's the quality of what we have that is going to be the best. The sun is in Scorpio, which is the 8th sign in the zodiac. This means that it is naturally linked with the 8th house, which is the house of regeneration and death. Now, as a water sign energy, Scorpio is going to call to us more than earth sign energy is. And people can be off put when they hear death, in Scorpio energy. But what this really is a door to another world, and a door to a sense of finding ourselves and walking forward into ourselves. As the second house in Taurus have us focusing on the material world, the eighth house in Scorpio have us concentrating on the spiritual world and the esoteric side of life. These two need to be balanced. If they're not balanced, we feel like we're living a lie. Excuse me. We feel like we're not moving forward the right way. We're also going to feel like we're pulled in two very distinct directions that isn't able to bring us forward in the way that we want to be. Now, the second house in Scorpio also has us linked to Mother Earth. The Earth Star Chakra is going to come out here profoundly, connecting with the earth, being outside in nature, just being able to connect is going to be so powerful for us. And it's also the Taurus in the second house also connects us with what we're earning and our ability to provide for ourselves, which can be intensely sensitive subjects during this time with everything that's going on. And so we need to be really open with ourselves, the place that we want to be, how we're moving forward, what we're going after. We have the Ace of Pentacles here, and that's a sense of prosperity being handed to us and a new sense of a new chapter opening up. Now, Scorpio connects us, Taurus has us linked with our earnings. Scorpio in the eighth house has us linked with the banks and how we are able to save once everything is taken care of. And this might be another thing that has us really looking at things in a different light, in a different way, and saying, what changes do I need to make to have me be more secure? Now, the moon is squared Jupiter. This brings hopefulness and enthusiasm into our lives, though it also amplifies our emotional response to things. So we have to be mindful of our hearts and our reactions. We have a tendency during this time, and as everybody does, to be moody, irritable, and careless. So we really have to be mindful of that and be aware of those tendencies. We are also being told that by adopting an attitude of gratitude and spirituality, not materialism, we are going to see our world transform. Jupiter also urges us to expand our horizons and be more mindful of greed taking over. And greed is going to be something that we can kind of fall into during this time. Everybody can. Now, the moon is trine Pluto. This brings spiritual and emotional sensitivity, as well as an enhancing and bringing into focus our psychic development and our psychic intuition. We will be feeling things powerfully, which has us more emotional, has us more sensitive. There's a subconscious urge for us to evolve the self with spirituality and evolve to the next spiritual level. And this is empowered and energized by the help of Jupiter, which urges us to achieve our goals and aligns ourselves with our karmic destiny. There is an eclipse aspect pattern, which is the alignment of the sun, the moon, Jupiter, and Pluto, which creates a quadrilateral known as the animated figure. This configuration brings things to life, as the name says, with animation. It brings things to life, but it also makes us so much more aware. The animation, it doesn't have to happen all at once, and it doesn't necessarily have to be easy or is going to be easy. But what it does is it brings to the surface our physical, spiritual, psychic, emotional, mental desires within life, and has us tapping into our imagination and our perseverance to get the job done. Just be mindful that we're all going to have this tendency of being 150% in or not at all. We're going to have this all or nothing mentality, and so we have to be aware of this. Now, we have the fixed star in Algol. Now, Algol, this is where we really need to pay attention, is known as the most evil star in all the heavens. And this is going to be something that we just need to be aware of. Now, the most evil star in all the heavens is quite a title to live up to. So, it may not be quite as intense as, the title gives it, but it has a tendency towards violence, towards extremes, towards misfortune, and we have to be careful. It also has a tendency towards carelessness. So what we have to do is make sure we come to this with a high energy vibration, a high sense of knowing ourselves, a high sense of, embracing the energy that is around us, really looking at that grayness that it has really been settling around the world, and pushing it back from us. And it could be cutting ourselves off from certain things to say, you know what, right now I need to be in a high energy vibration. So I need to keep myself in a much more positive area, in a much more positive place. Now, Algol represents the head in the constellation of Medusa. So this time can really make us lose our heads, because the way Medusa was killed was by Perseus beheading her. So just be mindful of this. We can lose our heads, we can lose our tempers, we can become much more mean during this time, and people can be just a little bit more mean during this time. So be aware of this. We also have a tendency to want to fall into the trap of greed. Like, greed comes out and it's like, if I can have more, and if I can have more, and if I can have more, that would be the best thing ever. We need to be aware of this, because it will just lead to really big regrets. So just being mindful of that. And on that high note of the most malevolent star, the most evil star in all the heavens, we then turn to the devil card here, which I think is kind of funny. But this is a sense of, I'm looking at everything that's been chaining me back. I've been looking at all the demons in my closets. I've been looking at all my doubts and all my fears and all the chaos that is around me. And enough is enough. I'm done. I'm done being ruled by other people's expectations. I'm done being guided by fear or doubt or chaos. And I am embracing myself. I'm embracing where I need to be, and I'm walking away from others' expectations. And it leads us to the Hangman. We start to see things so differently, and we're going to think, oh my gosh, I'm wrong. I'm not doing this right. I'm not moving forward the right way. And what Spirit is saying here is, don't doubt yourself just because you don't see things the way everybody else does. What's happening is that we've been working so hard with the Eight of Pentacles. We have been working so hard to what we desire, to the place that we want to be. This is working, the physical working in our world, but this is also the lessons that we have been learning through Spirit, the things that have been thrown in our path that make us look at the world differently, that make us see ourselves differently, make us, have to adapt and have to understand and have to transform. And so the Eight of Pentacles comes in, and there's just this real sense of, what I've been working for isn't in vain. There is beauty, and there is tenacity, and there is brilliance around me. I get to embrace this. And it really has us embracing our hearts, looking at what we desire within our lives, and moving forward, knowing that our hearts are stronger than we ever thought they were. This is a time where we see ourselves as warriors, as much as we see ourselves as the peacekeepers, as much as that's our natural inclination as peacekeepers, as dreamers, as discoverers, as inventors, as, these creative beings. We are also mighty. And this is going to be a time where we embrace that might, when we embrace that determination, when we embrace that focus. And it lets us shine. It lets us start to shine like the sun in our emotional understanding of ourselves, in a sense of a heart can be powerful and a heart can be beautiful. And it's really opening up the door to where we want to be within our lives. Whenever the sun comes in, though, we always have to remember that people take us by eyes, because people start to see a brilliance around us and they think, why you and not me? And what it is here is, it's not about anybody else. It's about the way we move forward in our passion. And if we let people rip that away from us, they will. And they will do so gleefully. But it's the way we move forward in the passion of what we're developing, of the place that we want to be, and of the heart that we have. This is a time when our heart matters. This is a time where our heart is exploratory and passionate and brilliant and expressive, and we need to embrace it, because by embracing our emotions, by embracing that connection with our heart, God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, hands us a gift of something so much greater than we imagined. It hands us a gift of creation. It hands us a gift of seeds being planted. It hands us a gift of prosperity that gets to shine as brightly as the sun. And we start to see ourselves moving to the next chapter, in the next level, to the next place that our hearts need to be, that our souls need to embrace, that we are excited to move forward in. There gets to be a beauty here. And as we are embracing this beauty, and as we are embracing these gifts from divinity that are all about our wealth within our lives. Now, this is money, or something we value as much as money. We have doubts and fears coming in. We also have a sense of, maybe it's never going to be as good as it once was. The Six of Cups has us living in the past. It has us living in hurtful, hateful words from the past, but it also has us living in the good moments from the past that we'll never be able to fully replicate. And so here, as much as we want to move forward, we're going to have something holding us back. And it's not going to feel necessarily like a bad thing. It's going to be, well, they were warning me about my dreamer mentality and I can't let that take over. They were warning me that, I didn't really have the stomach for XYZ, so I'm not going to let that take over. And what we're seeing here is not people who are being kind to us, but people who are cutting our wings in a very real way and in a very subtle way. And it doesn't mean that things that we were told that maybe we didn't like to hear weren't necessary and weren't true. What we have to be mindful of is who was telling us this and why were they telling us this? And how are we moving forward in the power of our now? And it brings us to the 8 of Swords. Because we're too much in our own heads in the public arena. It's almost like we're afraid to step. We're afraid to move forward. It's this sense of no matter what I do, it's going to be wrong. No matter how I move forward, I'm not going to get to the place that I want to be. And it's living in doubt and it's living in fear and it's always being afraid that we're going to mess up. We're humans. We are going to mess up. That's the point of living, is to love and to lose and to laugh and to cry and to be and to embrace this messy world and still find ourselves. We're aligning ourselves with our karmic destiny during this time. If we stay so much in our own heads that we're not able to see things, that we're not able to understand things, that we're not able to embrace things, then we're never going to get to be at the place that we were born to be, embracing the person that we were born to be. The 8 of Swords comes in and it makes us look at our world and it makes us look at ourselves. And it says, don't let fear overpower all the blessings that are coming your way. Because it will be so easy to sit there and say, oh no, I can't. We know people, we all know people who live in the 8 of Swords. Something traumatic has happened to them, something, has beaten them down, life has beaten them down, and they can't see past this. This is the only thing they ever have, are the hurts and the pains that they have been through. And it is time for us to leave that behind and say, oh no, there's so much more to my life than this. And it brings us to justice. It brings us to this Libra energy. But justice here, it's balance, but it's also discernment. It's being able to balance our lives, being able to balance ourselves, being able to see our world in this way that isn't just about everything being just so for everybody, but a discernment of the energy we let into our lives, a discernment of the people that we listen to, a discernment of the way that we want to move forward, not to please everybody else, but to embrace who it is that we are. And it brings us now to the Lunar message, to what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Oh, goodness. And show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Okay. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. So at our root, the moon says, be bold and make the first move. But make sure that we have clear boundaries. So as we are being bold and making the first move, make sure we have clear boundaries, especially as we're looking at so many of the addictions that we've had, so much of the pain that has shaped us, the fear that we have, and we're starting to see our world differently. It's be bold and step forward. Be bold and embrace what it is that we desire, but set those boundaries. Know who it is that we are and where it is that we want to be. Maybe not know who it is that we are and where we want to be because we're discovering it, but knowing that there's more here than meets the eye, and knowing that we have to have these boundaries for ourselves, and saying no isn't necessarily a bad thing. It brings us to our inner self, which says, you are very close to achieving your goals. Pleasure. It will give us pleasure once we achieve our goals, but it also gives us pleasure as we're on this journey to achieving our goals, to going after what we want. And there's pleasure in knowing that hard work does pay off. It brings us to our lunar emotional self, which the answers you need are coming. Gratitude. Embrace with gratitude the answers that are coming our way. the things that we are seeing, the things that we are understanding. Let us not stand in the past always. Let us embrace the power of the future that moves us forward. It brings us to our lunar public arena self. Luck is on your side, beginnings. So luck is on your side, and it aligns us with the new moon. This is what beginnings is. It represents the new moon. And so here, the new moon is on the 4th of December. We're going to see that luck is on our side, and the moon is moving us forward to a place that we need to be on the 4th of December, to a power we need to embrace during this time. It moves us to our subconscious lunar message, which is a win-win outcome is forecast, create. We have that Libra energy. We have that balancing coming forward. We have that discernment, that justice. Create with it. Create with it. Let ourselves be free. Excuse me. It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of. And that's the Hierophant. It's Taurus energy. Be mindful of the power of this moon. It's going to be more intense, more powerful, more than we're even expecting. And be mindful, Pisces, of this moon, because we are represented by the moon in the tarot. And so the moon affects us more so than it affects others. And so here we have to be mindful of it. Cancer, Cancer is ruled by the moon. And so this moon plays a huge part in who we are and how we're developing and how we're moving forward. We can think, oh, this moon doesn't have anything to do with me. And yet it has everything to do with us. Our subconscious chakra energy is universal light. This is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above our crown. This is a sense of light and radiance shining from us, shining within us. This is a sense of power and determination guiding us forward, and our angels being there with us, healing, moving forward within us. It moves us to our subconscious rooted energy, and that's strength, Leo energy. And with this strength, with this sense of facing the storms, with the sense of facing the demons that have held us back, we find ourselves stronger, we find ourselves better, we find ourselves fiercer than we had imagined. And strength isn't the bodybuilding, big muscles. Strength, it is the strength of the heart. It is the strength of everything that we've lived through. It's the strength of our passion. It moves us to our subconscious inner self, which is the 4 of Wands, the minor arcana marriage card. Taurus represents, and the Hierophant represent the major arcana marriage card. There's a sense of, what am I committed to? What am I married to? Not who am I married to, but what do I love and want to create and want to, explore within this life? What is it that if I turn my back from it, I turn my back from me? This is new job opportunities. This is passion. This is, new house. This is things moving forward. This is career progression. This is life coming together and a reason to celebrate. A new chapter. Our subconscious emotional self is the 3 of Swords. We're going to have a tendency to let the hurts of the past overpower the power of the present. Subconsciously, we need to just sit in meditation with ourselves and say, I visualize all the pain that I've been through. I visualize the scars that just run so deep and so intense within me. And I do not let them rule me. I let myself move forward in the power, in the beauty, in the brilliance that is me, that guides me to so much more. By naming the hurts that we have been through, the devastations that we have been through, by acknowledging them, we stop them from eating away at us. Our subconscious inner self is the 7 of Swords. It's betrayal. What has betrayed us? What has hurt us? What has overwhelmed us? It's very interesting because we have the 8 of Swords, and then we have Cancer energy, which is 7 in the major arcana. We have the 8 of Swords, and we have 7 again. So that 7-8 progression here is about things needing to be true and not taking things so seriously. So we have to be mindful of this. But we also have to be mindful of taking up our knowledge, taking up our power, taking up our insight, leaving certain things behind, and moving forward to the place that we need to be, soul and spirit, knowing that we're carrying just a bit too much right now for us to be able to bear. And it's looking at the betrayals that we have experienced and not letting them tear us apart. All right. All right, Pisces. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this full moon eclipse. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Pisces, and may you have a blessed moon.